So this is day 5 of the 25 push-ups for 25 days challenge. And today my mental health tip is around the topic of genetics. And I wanted to mention genetics because I feel as though a lot of people fall into the trap of assuming that they're destined for a certain illness or disease because they look at family members who may have gotten diseases or illnesses, and they tend to believe that that's what they're heading for. Now, it's not necessarily the case, and we're finding that out more and more today, that genes are actually what loads the gun, but it's your environment that pulls the trigger. And we're learning more about this in a newish field of science called epigenetics, where we're finding that your environment and your behaviors actually change your genetic makeup in certain ways. So it's really about your environment. What you want to do then is you want to look at your family history and see if there are any illnesses mentally, in particular. Specifically, I'm talking about mentally here. And you want to see if there are any patterns in mental health, with mental health issues. And then you want to kind of base your lifestyle around kind of the prevention of that. So if you know a family member suffers from a particular illness like depression or anxiety, doesn't necessarily mean you have to be destined for that path. You can actually change your environment and make changes in your lifestyle that can actually lower your risk of suffering from some of these illnesses. Now, statistics show that, with things like mental illness, anxiety and depression in particular, I would say, it's more normal to experience these things than to not in your lifetime. So statistics show that majority of people are going to experience some sort of mental illness, probably in the range of anxiety and depression, at least at one point in their lives. So by looking at your family history, you can see where your vulnerabilities are, and then you can make lifestyle changes corresponding to where those vulnerabilities are. And that's a really important thing. Knowing that you're not destined for that path, but you can make changes. And like I said, in that new field of epigenetics, where we're finding that it's your environment that it can actually change your genetic makeup. So if you're putting yourself in that healing sort of environment, then you're less likely to fall into those vulnerabilities that you see other family members who have fallen into due to a poor lifestyle. I know my grandfather, for example, he was the age of 49 when he passed away, and I was only young, so I don't remember much, but I was told over the years that he suffered from stress, and I can't help but think that maybe it was that depression, that chronic stress that was a major contributing factor to something like a heart attack, in which he passed away from 25 years ago. So yeah, and I guess it's not only mentally then, it's also physiologically. So you want to make sure that you're looking after the mind and the body, given your past history, given the genetic vulnerabilities that you can see, and then really working around that and, kind of putting yourself in a good environment so you can influence those genetics in a positive way. But now to the 25 push-ups.